Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our small and medium business session today. My name is Larissa Timnicki, and I lead the Commercial West business here at Box. We just heard many of the exciting updates in the keynote, and in this session, we're going to look at those through an SMB lens. We'll kick off with a review of the highlights from the keynote and talk about how some of our customers have used Box to solve key business challenges. Then, we'll move on to a discussion with two IT leaders who will share how they've used Box to improve business outcomes. We'll round it out with a demo where you'll see some of this new functionality live. And now for the speakers. I'm joined today by two of my esteemed colleagues from our solutions engineering team, Forrest and Elijah, as well as two IT leaders, Jean Massey, Director of IT at W.T. Rich, a general contracting and construction firm, and Saiful Kanker, CTO of Soroban Capital, a New York-based hedge fund. Two companies in two very different industries, both transforming how they work with the Intelligent Content Cloud. So with that, let's get started. Through our day-to-day conversations with our customers, we have learned a lot about the challenges of small and medium-sized businesses, and there are many. Not only do SMBs need to find the fastest way to grow and scale, but they need to do so with often limited resources while keeping costs low. And small and medium-sized businesses are the bedrock of our economy. 99.9% of all businesses are considered small to medium-sized or commercial businesses. And each of these businesses have mission-critical, sensitive files that are changing hands every day, from product assets to marketing materials, client agreements, and vendor contracts. These businesses are often working in fragmented systems. Employees have individual tech tool preferences. This makes finding the latest version of an asset cumbersome, zaps productivity, and is nearly impossible to secure. And meanwhile, these files are at risk. According to the Small Business Administration, companies with fewer than 1,000 employees have the highest likelihood of experiencing a breach at some point in their lifetime. And as businesses continue to increase support of remote work and evolve to changing security and customer landscapes, we expect this fragmentation only to grow. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce report on small businesses, 85% of small and medium businesses plan to increase their tech stack. Meanwhile, the way we work is evolving. We're entering a new era of work, one where AI is a part of our workforce. We're seeing AI integrated into every part of our day-to-day. And when used well, it can supercharge our productivity. Meanwhile, data is exploding. We now have endless amounts of data at our fingertips and are expected to make data-driven decisions every day from multiple locations and often instantaneously. Our customers expect a digital-first experience with the ability to seamlessly communicate with anyone at any time. And customers and employees alike expect collaboration to be as easy and frictionless as ordering a rideshare, with built-in enterprise-grade security safeguarding the whole process from start to finish. And now for the good news. There is a better way of working, and Box offers commercial businesses a way to make the most of this new era. In fact, Box is the only intelligent content management platform that gives you one unified AI-powered approach to manage and secure both your structured and unstructured data for the first time. And when you consider that over 90% of your content is unstructured, you can imagine the value of that unlock. The Intelligent Content Cloud brings you seamless collaboration within a simple user interface and an interface that people want to use. Unparalleled built-in security, modern and compliant automation and workflows, deep interoperability with your IT stack, robust developer tools and APIs, and of course, access to the latest in generative AI with Box AI. Because AI is truly at the center of this new era. And while AI is transforming how we work, Box AI is helping us unlock additional value and insights from our corporate content. From summarizing long contracts to writing marketing emails or even analyzing reports, Box AI helps you get important tasks done quickly while unlocking valuable insights. With Box AI, you no longer need manual intervention with your everyday workflows. You can now use Box AI to programmatically identify keywords from contracts at time of upload, instantly triggering loan processing or customer onboarding workflows. And of course, security is at the core of it all. Box AI incorporates all of your Box document permissions, so answers that you see will be based solely on content you have access to. Further, the ability to automatically identify and tag sensitive or proprietary data ensures that those documents that are meant to be internal only stay where they should, all without compromising the overall end user experience. And taken together, Box offers commercial businesses a single, secure platform, one with unlimited file storage, a single place where small and medium-sized businesses can securely store their company's operating details, financials, sales materials, and marketing assets with confidence. Whether your employees and customers prefer to work in Microsoft Word, Google Sheets, or even Salesforce, all documents are saved, secured, and controlled in one place, a single content layer in Box. Unlimited sharing. We know collaboration with customers, vendors, and partners is key to growing your business, so we offer you unlimited external sharing capabilities to support that growth. Content organization. We know time is your most valuable asset, so we make it easy to organize and find content. With Hubs, it's easier than ever to centralize and curate content for your employees and customers. Whether you need an intranet for employees or shared portal to work with customers, these easy-to-create portals help organize your content so you're able to work faster and smarter. And now, for the first time, you can use Box AI to query those curated hubs. So need information on paternity leave policies or sales trends, your employees can now instantly self-source the latest info, allowing your HR folks and sales teams to avoid that Slack disruption. And of course, unlimited e-signatures. Your business cannot grow without signed employment agreements and customer contracts. With unlimited e-sign included in the all-in-one platform, there's no need to worry about add-on costs as you scale. As you can see, the new era of the intelligent content management platform is here. Our unified, AI-powered approach offers seamless collaboration with unparalleled data protection and compliance. Built-in modern workflows, a customizable and interoperable platform, and enterprise-grade artificial intelligence so you can get the most from your content. Box began as a tool for simple file sharing and collaboration, but in the last nearly 20 years, our platform has been evolving rapidly. We've built in robust security and compliance features and extended our offering to include key business process tools like e-signature, workflow, migration, and now AI to help over 100,000 customers better secure their data to achieve better business outcomes. I've been at Box for a long time, and this is by far the most exciting time I've ever seen here, and we are just getting started. To walk through some of the biggest announcements for small and medium-sized businesses at BoxWorks, I'm pleased to introduce my fellow Boxer and friend, Forrest Dukes, Solutions Engineer Extraordinaire. Over to you, Forrest.
Thanks, Larissa, and howdy, folks. My name is Forrest Dukes. I lead our solutions engineering team for small and medium business, and I'm thrilled to walk you through some of the major announcements you heard at BoxWorks. Today, we will cover advancements across security and compliance, collaboration and workflow, and the power of AI. We're expanding our security and compliance capabilities with major updates to administration and visibility across your content. First up, we're making it easier to remediate the consequences of malicious actors and negligent misuse. For example, ransomware attacks are notoriously difficult to address. It can be tough to assess the amount of files that have been affected. Small technical teams can lead to lengthy remediation attempts, and paying the ransom doesn't guarantee good faith or restoration of the contents. With content recovery, admins can quickly and easily identify and restore affected files with unprecedented surgical precision, saving you time and valuable bandwidth. We've had content insights as far back as I can remember, but real power comes in the aggregate. With folder insights, end users from department heads to team leads to project managers have an easy way to holistically monitor content access analytics. Folder Insights creates a scalable way to track collaboration invites, shared link access, and content download reports across an entire content library. This is especially important for our commercial customers, where scalable and accessible solutions are a vital counterbalance to limited IT resourcing. Content Manager has been modernized to bring the admin search in line with robust filters that business users leverage to swiftly locate important content. Businesses in the commercial space derive value from Box's approach to organization-wide content management. and our rich content manager interface is how our most successful customers balance the openness of collaboration with the more stringent administrative requirements for strong information governance. Drill into a specific folder to remediate a support ticket, perform bulk actions to wrangle content proliferation, or conduct a routine audit on newer users still getting their bearings at the organization. And as a part of that holistic view across all of your content, our content manager is growing to include the heavily requested, highly anticipated content archival. There's no way around it. A happy Box deployment is filled with content that eventually needs to be shelved. Storage limits aren't the problem. Rather, long-standing customers have asked for a way to declutter their home pages, clean up aging search results, and remove confusion around the current source of truth. Box Archive will allow this process to take place smoothly and efficiently for our strapped commercial teams, while still maintaining strong compliance and information governance postures. As I mentioned at the beginning, these exciting updates are designed with you in mind, to bolster your security, to ease your administrative burden, and to enhance your visibility and productivity. With that in mind, let's transition into the powerful way end users will get to reimagine their day-to-day within Box. That's right. It's time to highlight our major changes to workflow and collaboration, starting with Box Forms, our drag-and-drop solution that allows business processes to truly start in the hands of your collaborators and clients. Presenting zero coding requirements and a plethora of valuable options like required fields and branching logic, business teams will be able to create application forms, medical record intakes, feedback questionnaires, and registration forms. And as a new mechanism for the ingestion of critical data, Box Forms will kick off automated workflow, map to searchable metadata, and even generate important documents. Yes, you heard right. Box Forms will work in tandem with our document generation capabilities to create dynamic, data-driven documents directly from the fields placed on forms. But DocGen doesn't stop there. Whether we're pulling fields from a Box form or a partner application like Salesforce and beyond, the support for multiple data sources ensures that this critical start to the content journey is easy and natively paired with Box's content lifecycle capabilities. Some incredibly potent business use cases include NDA execution, sales order generation, and terms and agreements customization. Creating these documents can be manual, tedious, and error-prone for commercial customers. But Box's commitment to powering automated content workflows means that Box Forms and DocGen will meld alongside downstream actions like e-signature, classification, and security policies to hasten and scale the pace of business. I meant that business users can now reimagine their day-to-day processes in Box, and nowhere is that more true than with Box Apps. For some teams, folder structures are the most natural way to find content. But for folks that manage scores of in-flight contracts or curate image assets for media and marketing, they fundamentally run on metadata-driven views, search, organization, and editing. In fact, we believe that Box Apps provide something for everyone, allowing end users to create truly bespoke dashboards that break away from Box's traditional content views. For a burgeoning construction company, this is a new way to manage and approve inspection images for their third-party contractors. For a lean legal team, this is a dashboard to oversee and maintain visibility across expiring agreements. And for an HR team, this is a command center to track the status of new hire onboarding and checklist completion. With Box Apps, you can define these springboards and then dive into entirely metadata-driven views of the underlying content, all still stored in Box. And like the rest of our end-user-focused tools, Box Apps was designed to be built by business stakeholders in the business, not IT. And if you thought, good luck getting my team to appropriately tag content, then you'll love our AI metadata extraction. With the power of Box AI, customers will be able to automatically extract metadata, enabling the rich population of these dashboards without strong change management. At our final stop for workflow and collaboration, we have Box Hubs, already generally available, that allows teams to easily surface content from Box into intelligent libraries and playlists. Hubs gives teams access to the most relevant information so that they don't have to spend valuable time searching. From HR policies to marketing team brand assets, from construction project management to internal knowledge bases, all of these libraries can be created and scaled easily, creating consistency across the organization. And Hubs is even enhanced by Box AI, which makes multi-doc queries simple and contextual. Just ask the question, like, what was the investment thesis for last year's portfolio? And get instant access to insights across your curated content. Personally, I love that Hubs can be shared externally, providing the continued value of Box as a single source of truth across the business. In fact, my own team has started creating deal hubs to share with our prospects and customers. Imagine that you're trying to land an important client, and the decision maker has access to meeting notes, data sheets, the latest pricing proposals, and more, all neatly packaged into an AI-powered single pane of glass. And then, imagine that they could share this portal with other stakeholders across their organization for consumption and buy-in, without burning the sales calories that your team would typically spend conducting additional meetings. Yeah, we thought it was pretty cool too. We just took a journey through a staggering amount of innovation that will transform the ways Box customers conduct business. But we're not done yet. Box has over 1,500 integrations and strong partnerships with leading tech companies like Adobe, and our new integration with Adobe Express continues its best-of-breed approach to getting work done. Creative teams now have access to premier editing capabilities directly within the Box UI and without the need for an Adobe account. No additional logins, no movement to other applications, just Box plus Adobe Express. And finally, we're excited to announce our upcoming Box AI Studio. Box maintains an inclusive posture with our partners and integrations, allowing you to assemble the best tools in line with your business's needs. This extends to AI. We're giving customers advanced admin controls and customization that will allow you to choose from a list of curated language learning models, introduce your own model, and tweak prompt and response parameters. Ultimately, and as always, you're in control of how you want to build, test, and deploy experiences that best suit your needs. Wow. I agree with Larissa. In over 6 years at Box, I've never been this excited by the sheer amount of innovative experiences that Box has to offer. We talked about up-leveling and unburdening administrative teams, transforming what work looks like for business users, and restated Box's commitment to providing the best integration flexibility to match your organization's needs. Overall, Box helps commercial companies operate faster, more efficiently, and more poised for scale. We help you tackle today's challenges and meet tomorrow's needs. To hear all the updates, be sure to watch the complete array of BoxWorks sessions. And stay tuned here for the product demonstration after our customer conversation. Now let's hear directly from two Box customers. Back to you, Larissa.
Thanks so much, Forrest. Up next, I have an insightful conversation teed up with Saiful Kanker, CTO at Sorbonne Capital, and Jean Massey, Director of IT at WT Rich. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen. Let's go around and do some quick introductions. Let's kick it off with you, Saiful.
Yeah, hi, I'm Saiful Kanker. I'm Chief Technology Officer at Sorbonne Capital Partners. We are a hedge fund. We're based out of Midtown Manhattan. We've been around since 2010, and I've been in this role for 8 years.
And I am Jean Massey. I'm the Director of IT for WT Rich Company, located in Natick, Massachusetts. We're a construction management firm operating primarily in Massachusetts. I've been with the firm since the end of 2019.
Well, thank you. Well, first off, I'd love to hear a little bit about your background using Box at your respective companies. Can we kick it off with you, Jean? How is WT Rich using Box today? Heard it came at a pretty good time.
Yeah, it really did, Larissa. So, I actually have a history with Box before my current role. I've actually been in the construction industry my entire career. So that's a span of 25 years, crazy to say. But we actually started looking to migrate to Box at my old firm, much larger company. And when I took the role at WT Rich, the goal was to take us into the cloud. So I wanted to really vet out other vendors, other firms, and find out what the right fit was for us. And it just really, Box just screamed the perfect fit. So, working with your team, we were able to migrate our data into the cloud in March 2020, and that was obviously right before COVID. So we shut down 2 weeks later, and our folks were able to just go. We use Box Drive primarily, but we're really fascinated by the other Box tools in the suite, and we're starting to really expand our use and make use of some of the other tools now.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy to have you on board. And over to you, Saiful. You brought Box onto Sorbonne Capital from on-premise servers, I understand. So what was that transition like?
Yeah, so I joined in 2016, and when I joined, everything was on-prem, very legacy. We had a very strong desire to go to the cloud. That was our strategy. We're trying to get everything over to the cloud, including our files. So at that point, we looked at Box, obviously. We looked at other players in the space. At that point, Box Drive was really much more advanced than the other solutions, and it was just a very native, way that users can interface with it. On the Windows desktop, it's a Windows File Explorer. It was pretty easy. So back in 2018, we did the migration. We had a lot of files, and financial files, in particular Excel, tended to be a little bit more complicated to move over. But once we moved everyone over department by department, we had a couple of huge wins early on. One example I can think of is one of our portfolio manager and a senior analyst was going to the airport, and there was an investment question, and that was asked, and the analyst says, "Oh, let me just pull it up real quick on his phone." Opened up Box and found that number, got that answer, and able to make an investment decision on the spot. And the other big win for us was during COVID. We were doing investor due diligence calls or meetings in person, and during COVID, it was all virtual. And being able to do that in Box in a secure way, sharing documents with watermarks, really helped our business not miss a beat during COVID.
Oh, that's great to hear. I love you being able to use Box on the fly like that. So important. Let's dive deeper into how each of you are using some of your favorite features in Box. Jean, I'll start with you. I know you're using Box at many different parts in the project lifecycle, from taking photos through to project completion. Can you talk a little bit more about how you're using Box throughout that process?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a great segue to talk about the mobile features. We heavily utilize Box Capture. So it helps us out in the field on a job site because, back in the traditional days, you would have to take pictures with a digital camera. You would have to use your cell phone and then go back to your desk and download your photos and then put them up on the server. And utilizing the Box tools on your phone, you can just take a picture. You see a piece of exposed pipe, you see some wires that are exposed, you take a picture, it goes right to the server. Saves our people a lot of time. And I mean, Box is essentially our file server. So, there was a little bit of hesitancy at the beginning because you're losing your on-prem, security blanket, if you want to call it that. But once we saw how easy it was to use, it was a no-brainer, and it just really made being life on the job a lot easier, especially on a construction site. We have to have our tools right there at our hands, and Box enables you to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Jean. And for you, Saiful, I understand that at Sorbonne, Box governance has been key to helping you meet all sorts of compliance standards and stay ahead of the curve when it comes to regulation. How have you used Box to ensure that you're maintaining compliance for yourself and your customers?
Yeah, compliance is huge for us. We are in a regulated industry. We're an investment advisor. So retention is huge. Our books and records needs to be preserved, not just for the SEC, which we're regulated with. It could be with any of our counterparties or our investors. So with Box governance, the framework is there. As an admin, I could see who's access to the file. As an admin, I can see which departments have access to what files. And that gives us really good assurance that everything is there. And then when there's files we need to share with external parties, Box is great for that as well. We send out a link. We can see when people connect in. We can see, are they previewing it, downloading it? I have all that activity there that I can send to the owner. And lastly, ransomware is also a big concern for us, and it does fall into the regulations as an SEC company. We need to be able to ensure that if we get hit with ransomware, we can do fast recovery. And with Box, ransomware recovery is baked into the product. I could see, I can run reports, I can do a mass recovery, which gives our compliance team some peace on that.
No, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. On to another much loved and newer feature at BoxSign, unlimited e-signature. We all know how expensive e-signature can get with additional envelope costs. Jean, how have you been using BoxSign at WT Rich?
Well, ironically, we were vetting out another solution. Another solution everybody uses, right? So we were in negotiating stage of that process. And we had a pretty fair number, but it was a high number. I mean, it was expensive for our team to implement that solution. We're talking 15 to 20K, not only for the implementation, but also for your annual spend. And then we really sat back and said, okay, let's talk to Box, because BoxSign looks like, It had just come out at the time. It looked like a very promising feature to use to help us with our contracts. And I think it took us maybe a month or two to really dig in. And that was just because of time constraints. It's so easy to use. So we just made the decision to stop those negotiations, go with Box Sign, and we use it for our contracts. We're talking about using it for our onboarding. When we send onboarding paperwork to people, they can send us an electronic signature. And we know we have that backing of Box, both with governance and Shield, and it just makes life a lot easier. So we're expanding our use now, but it's so easy to use. It's just a no-brainer. It saved us a lot of money too.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Gene. So good to hear that we're able to save you some money there. And back to you, Saiful. How do you see your technology strategy evolving in response to customer cost, pressures, and risks? Has anything major changed in your strategy?
Yeah, we track our IT spend very closely. That's it's very important to us. And with Box, we're on a package that gives us everything that we need, starting from governance to some of the AI features that we're rolling out, and it is a great value proposition, and also just helps us standardize everything into one platform. It helps us, drive out files to external parties. It's not, we have all these different systems. We have one unified platform that could do everything that our business needs. And I think at the end of the day, the value creation is super, super important to us. And that's helps as part of the budget process.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear. Thanks, Saiful. And now on to AI, which great segue there. We've heard a lot about advancements in AI here at BoxWorks. We have some speakers talking about some exciting advancements in the field, certainly changing the way we all work. How are you all thinking about AI as it pertains to your day-to-day, and how are you incorporating it into your business strategy? I suppose it's a question for you both, but we'll start with you, Gene.
Sure. So, the way we look at it is AI is an emerging technology, and that is a good thing and a bad thing. It's scaring a lot of folks because we really don't know too much about it, and there's a lot of data loss prevention issues. So we're trying to take a couple steps back and then form a group within the company to really analyze the tools. But one thing that I'm being very conscious to say to the team is we need to lean on our trusted partners. So that's where Box comes in. Box AI, when it was announced, was a huge benefit for us because we knew we can trust Box. We have Shield, as I mentioned before. There's the Box governance aspect, and we know with our trusted partners that we're not going to run into a situation where our data is just being compromised from jump because there's some setting turned on or something like that. It's very important to really rely on the people that you can trust, and Box definitely one of those partners. So we are really excited about the advancements of Box AI.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Gene. And same question to you, Saiful. How are you incorporating AI into your business strategy?
Yes, for the last 2 years, ChatGPT has taken over the world. I've got everybody in my company from the day that it was released till yesterday asking about how AI can be a transformative agent in our company. Similar to Gene, the biggest concerns from a technologist wearing my cybersecurity hat is around data leakage. So if we just let ChatGPT just kind of come in, we're worried that someone might say, hey, this is our client list. Who else should be our client, right? And then now that's out there for anyone else to find. So we couldn't have that happen. So with Box, we've got all of our files there, right? And using Box AI, it helps us with the guardrail. So we know that that data leakage is not going to be a problem. So we've got people that, whether it's an agreement that we have with a vendor or any kind of analysis, or it might be a 50-page PDF, we ask Box AI, hey, summarize this, or hey, look for this information, and the AI goes and digs that information out and gives that to us. And we've been pretty much all in on AI. We've done a lot of training, a lot of use cases to every single seat in our firm. And lastly, with Hubs, that's super exciting because that's your AI that's going to, so 2 examples. One, we're trying to build out an HR portal. We put all of the HR documents so someone can say, hey, how many vacation days do I have? Or what's my paternity policy, right? Instead of asking the HR person, you get to use AI and ask the files in Box. And then from an IT perspective, we have a lot of documentation, a lot of one-pagers on how to do so many different things. People forget that we have this huge, rich repository. So we're building out a hub for that, so people can say, hey, remind me again, what's our Wi-Fi password? Or, hey, which printer is in this office? So we're super excited with AI, and we think that it's going to be a complete game changer.
That's great. Yeah, big productivity unlock, hopefully. Great. Well, we've heard a lot about exciting announcements. Just now, we'll have some more coming in the coming months. But question to you, Gene, what are you most excited about implementing at WT Rich? There's perhaps a particular integration you're excited about.
We're really excited about using Box Relay. Saiful really hit the nail on the head. It's really trying to centralize where your departments do their business, because everything is kind of already set up that way within Box, between cross collaboration pieces as well as all the different tools that you offer. So we're really excited about using Relay to kind of automate some of our processes. With the data being in the right place with the right partner, you can then focus on, all right, how do we do things better? How do we become more efficient without having to go to a third-party firm to do it? So we want to use Box Relay, but we also want to use Box Hubs as well. I think there's a lot of great features within the product that can really be a central depot for people to come. They know exactly where to go and get their stuff.
Great. And any integrations that you're excited about? We were just talking about this earlier.
Definitely Box AI. Definitely Box AI. I mean, that's a critical piece.
And what about that Procore integration?
Oh, Procore. So yeah. All right.
Can't forget about that one.
Manager. Yeah, that's a game changer. All right. For all the CMs on your platform, everybody's going to be looking for that integration piece. It's a huge part of everything that we do. And I can't tell you how excited I am. Been asking about it for years, but it's funny. I mean, that's another great thing about Box, right? Is that evolution. You see how the product evolves over time. New partners when it makes sense, not over integrations, right? It's just the right pieces. So I am literally jumping up and down inside to get and test out that Procore integration.
Well, thank you for all the feedback, and it's given all the feedback from you all that we can continue to evolve the product. So thanks for that, for being good partners. Last question, any lessons learned from Box that you all would like to share perhaps with other folks listening today? Start with you, Saiful.
Yeah, I think my only advice is to go all in, right? I've talked to peers at other shops, at other hedge funds, that they have a silo of Box, but they also have on-prem, and you don't get to take advantage of the full power of Box by having it segmented, right? Or having just one team do it. So what we did, we did it all in one shot. We got everyone moved over, and once everyone moved over, the collaboration, the power, and then now with all these tools that we're putting out, we can take advantage of that. So that's my one lesson, is to not, it's just to go all in and try to get everything into a central platform.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more on the all-in aspect. But there's one other piece of that all-in. In my previous life, I think what made the integration complicated was the lack of kind of respect for Box Consulting. It was a huge win for us here at WT Rich because, we talked about that short timeline. Obviously, we could not predict the impact of COVID. We didn't know it was coming. But the way we looked at it is we wanted to have a partner to migrate our data and make sure that data was migrated correctly. Box Consulting did an awesome job of making sure our data was there. I budgeted for 3 days. It took us literally like hours. The team was excellent. And we also utilized Box Consulting for our onboarding. It was a remote onboarding, but it went extremely well. And I think that is why when we had to shut down the office for COVID, we weren't concerned about the users. They all knew what they were doing. They had 2 weeks to play with it. And I mean, that's a short window in our business. I think Saiful would agree. It was just really seamless because we had the tools in place from that team to help us get over the hump.
Well, thank you. First of all, very glad to hear that. And thank you both so much for such a great conversation. Really appreciate the partnership and looking forward to doing more in the future. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, let's see some of our newest features in action. Over to one of my favorite solutions engineers, Elijah, for a live demo.
Thanks, Larissa. My name is Elijah Jaso, a solutions engineer at Box, and I'm going to be taking you all through a demo of how a growing business can utilize Box's new intelligent content management ICM features to really streamline their business and optimize productivity. In the world of commercial businesses, speed and ease of use is everything. This is especially true for a booming construction company called Rock Building Company that frequently collaborates with third-party contractors. Let's explore how Rock Building Co. is streamlining its processes on top of a solid foundation of security by using the latest innovations. We'll focus in on our project manager, David, as he oversees the contract execution and onboarding of Illumination Electric, a new contractor. To get started, David, our project manager, has identified the perfect lighting and wiring company to assist Rock Building Co. on their new project, Shady Grove. David knows that Rock Building Co. prioritizes efficiency and uniformity, so they have created a project management dashboard with the new Box Apps. It contains everything he needs to kick off the vendor onboarding process, which starts off with launching a Box Form. Box Forms is a simple-to-use method for gathering critical data and attributes that can function as metadata and document fields. In this case, I need to populate my vendor name, project name, my project start date, end date, my project scope, my total compensation, and my recipient's email. The filling out of the vendor agreement form automatically and dynamically generates the contract using Box DocGen. It'll pull from a template for execution via Box Relay to our native e-signature tool, Box Sign. Box Sign supports a variety of signature requirements, including multi-signer requests and signing order configurations. But for this specific use case, we just need to interact with Jeb. Jeb, our contractor from Illumination Electric, easily receives the prompt via email and is able to review and execute the contract through his browser. Box uses the information from the Box Form to dynamically generate a vendor agreement template through Box DocGen, our document generation solution. I can see here that the vendor name, the scope of work, as well as total compensation have all been pulled in automatically using this tool. I can go ahead and fill out my signature fields here. Next, I'll hit Sign and Finish. In the past, David would have sifted through old contracts for the proper clauses and worked with the legal team through multiple iterations of language. But Box DocGen removes the middle steps by creating an automated, templated method of contract creation. Thus, David can focus on interacting with the contractor rather than these internal processes. The best part is that the contract is automatically stored in the right place within Box, where further preservation and security policies are automatically applied. Once the vendor agreement has been executed, Jeb can now be added to the Project Hub. For commercial businesses like Rock Building Company, Box Hub simplifies collaboration and access by gathering all of the content in one central view. Jeb now has one landing page where he can sift through things like policies and procedures if he wanted to jump down to blueprints and diagrams. He can review all these documents with full knowledge that this has been the exact access that he needs to see. With a solid understanding of the project now from reviewing the hub, I am ready to head into the construction site, but I need to know what my team is directly tasked with. Construction is a concerted effort. Thanks to Box AI and Hubs, I no longer have to manually search through each document for this information. Instead, I can simply pose a query to Box AI and Hubs and ask it something like, what is Illumination Electric's next task? Within seconds, Box AI is able to generate the correct answer and even show you where it's pulling that answer from, citing the document itself. This way, I always know that I'm having the correct information from this query. With the help of Box AI, I quickly discover that my next task is to upload pictures from the project site for the preliminary inspection. I head out to the site, snap the necessary pictures using my mobile phone, and thanks to the intuitive Box mobile app, I can seamlessly upload the photos directly from my phone into the site updates folder. This ensures that Rock Building Code team can immediately review and track progress in real time. For growing businesses like Rock Building Company, this kind of efficiency is a game changer. And we have no fear about the amount or size of the images taken because of Box's unlimited storage model. It keeps everyone aligned and eliminates unnecessary steps, making project tracking faster and more transparent. Once the site photos are uploaded, David receives a notification prompting him to review the preliminary inspection photos. To make this process even more efficient, I navigate to my project dashboard, built using the new Box apps, Box's new dashboard builder. From my dashboard, I can easily view not only all the new photos that have just been uploaded, but also all the relevant details surrounding them all in one place. I quickly filter down to the current project I'm working on, Shady Grove, allowing myself to focus solely on the documents and updates related to this specific project. Thanks to Box AI, metadata has automatically been extracted from the photos as they were uploaded. This gives the team a detailed and organized view, making it simple to sort and review all the images. With a rich understanding of what each picture contains, I can move through the review process much faster and much more efficiently. Looks like one document is still missing metadata. Let's go ahead and have Box AI automatically generate those fields for us. With Box AI's metadata extraction, I can now gain key data points on all of my content automatically, also making it much easier to sort and review, even with limited resources. I can do all of this with all of my ongoing projects that I'm working on, and with this level of automation and ease of use, it means I'm going to be spending less time on administrative tasks and more time focusing on getting the job done. When the project is completed, many of the documents surrounding the project are no longer needed by most of the team. Only a select few may require them for future reference or review. To keep Rock Building Company's file system streamlined and focused onto ongoing work, David takes the next step and he moves the entire project into Archive. With just a few clicks, I can easily archive the project, ensuring that it remains accessible for key team members if needed, while removing it from the day-to-day workspace for the broader team. This helps maintain a clean, organized system. That concludes our demo, and we hope you enjoyed the session. We announced some exciting innovations at BoxWorks this year, including Box Apps, metadata extraction, DocGen, Archive, and much more. No matter what industry you're in, Box can power your growing business. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at box.com/small-business. Thank you.